A major explosion has finally erupted within Ducati, not on the racetrack, but behind the scenes, where intrigue runs deep. The relationship between Pecco Bagnaia and the team that nurtured him is now reportedly fractured, following allegations of internal strategies that may have actually worked against the reigning world champion. Controversial decisions, the direction of bike development, and internal power dynamics have all intensified the situation, making it feel deeply personal, as if Ducati is no longer fully on Pecco's side. If there truly is a game being played behind the scenes, this is no ordinary conflict, but the beginning of a major split that could shake the team's future. So is Ducati really trying to gradually push Pecco out? Let's dive in and see it through to the end. Tensions are escalating across the MotoGP world as the relationship between Francesco Bagnaia and the Ducati Lenovo team enters a far more complex phase than just rider-team dynamics. What is unfolding is no longer merely about on-track performance, but a battle of influence, strategy, and competing interests behind the scenes, now beginning to surface publicly. This situation is steadily evolving into a major conflict that could reshape the competitive landscape in the years ahead. The root of this issue reportedly stems from Bagnaia's planned move to Aprilia Racing for the 2027 season. This move is more than just a rider transfer. It marks the end of an era of success he built with Ducati. Over the past few seasons, Bagnaia has become a symbol of Ducati's dominance, and his departure would undoubtedly represent a significant loss for the Italian manufacturer. It is therefore no surprise that Ducati has not remained passive and has begun taking strategic steps to protect its interests. Amid this developing conflict, one name has emerged as a central figure: Cristian Gabarrini. As the longtime crew chief of Francesco Bagnaia, Gabarrini is far more than just a technical team member. He is a crucial figure who has played a direct role in shaping the rider's performance foundation on the track. His role extends beyond pure technical input, encompassing in-depth analysis of the bike's characteristics, race strategy, and a communication approach that maximizes Bagnaia's potential in every session. Their partnership dates back to their early days together at Pramac Racing and has since evolved into an exceptionally strong collaboration. Over time, this partnership has not only delivered consistent performance, but also reached its peak with a World Championship title alongside the Ducati Lenovo team. This success stands as clear evidence that technical synergy and personal trust can be decisive factors at the highest level of competition. The synergy between Bagnaia and Gabarrini has long been regarded as one of the key pillars behind Ducati's success in recent seasons. Their connection goes beyond professionalism, built on a strong emotional bond reflected in how they handle pressure and the dynamics of competition. Gabarrini is known for his deep understanding of Bagnaia's riding style, from braking characteristics and setup preferences to the smallest details often overlooked. In the highly competitive and precision-driven world of MotoGP, such a relationship is rare and carries immense strategic value, potentially becoming a deciding factor in the battle for a world championship. This is precisely why, when reports surfaced that Gabarrini might follow Bagnaia to Aprilia, Ducati reacted decisively. The team is said to be making strong efforts to retain the crew chief within its structure. This move highlights that Ducati is not only focused on retaining riders, but also on safeguarding the intellectual capital and technical advantages it has built over the years. This decision reflects Ducati's broader strategy to maintain its dominance on the MotoGP grid. It is not merely about human resources, but also about controlling the direction of competition in the future. Ducati understands that losing Gabarrini to a direct rival like Aprilia could significantly impact the balance of power on the track. For Bagnaia, this situation is clearly not easy. If Gabarrini remains at Ducati, he will face a major challenge at the start of his new chapter with Aprilia. Adapting to a new team is already complex on its own, let alone doing so without the figure who has been key to understanding his racing characteristics. He will need to rebuild communication, adjust to a different technical approach, and find new chemistry with his team. In MotoGP history, many great riders have experienced a drop in performance when they lose a crew chief who deeply understands them, both technically and psychologically. The relationship between a rider and a crew chief goes beyond professionalism. It is a strategic partnership built over years of shared experience on track. When that foundation changes, the adaptation process becomes far from simple. It takes time to rebuild trust, align technical vision, and rediscover an optimal working rhythm. In situations like this, the pressure to remain competitive amid major changes becomes a real test, not only of performance, but also of mental resilience for someone like Pecco Bagnaia. On the other hand, Ducati appears confident in the direction it has chosen. Unlike in the past, such as when Cristian Gabarini followed Casey Stoner to the Repsol Honda team, Ducati is now in a far more dominant and stable position. They are not only leading in terms of bike performance, but also possess deep resources and full control over key elements within the team. With an increasingly solid structure and a mature technical ecosystem, Ducati is demonstrating that its strength no longer depends on any single individual, but rather on a fully integrated system. Meanwhile, the threat from Aprilia cannot be underestimated. In recent seasons, the Knoll-based manufacturer has shown significant progress, both in terms of bike performance and consistency of results on track. This situation makes every decision, whether related to race strategy, technical development, or team management, more critical than ever. There is no longer any room for small mistakes, as the consequences can be substantial. Therefore, all parties are required to make highly calculated decisions based on accurate data and a deep understanding of the ever-evolving competitive landscape. This conflict also reveals another side of MotoGP that is rarely seen by the public. Behind the speed and adrenaline on track lies a highly complex game of strategy and politics. Gabarini's name is now more than just a crew chief. It has become a symbol of competing interests between two major forces. For Aprilia, this situation presents its own challenge. They must find ways to remain competitive, even if they do not secure every element they had hoped for. Yet, this is precisely what makes MotoGP so compelling. Uncertainty is always part of the drama that keeps fans engaged. Bagnaia now stands at a crucial crossroads in his career. He must prove that he can succeed under any circumstances, including without the full support of his former team. Meanwhile, Ducati will continue striving to maintain its dominance using every strategy at its disposal. With all these intrigues unfolding, the 2027 season is predicted to be one of the most dramatic in MotoGP history. The battle will heat up not only on the track, but also behind the scenes. In the end, only time will determine who emerges victorious from this conflict. But one thing is certain: the drama involving Bagnaia, Ducati, and Gabarini has significantly reshaped the dynamics of MotoGP. What do you think? Is Ducati really executing a strategy to slowly push Bagnaia out? And how big will Pecco's move to Aprilia impact Ducati's future in MotoGP? Share your thoughts in the comments.